Hi, today's video is about me and Jeff Goldblum. I'm Nicola, and I'm going to make this one short. Because in my first 3 videos in Veda, I produced a total of 18 minutes and 45 seconds, and I'm falling behind. That's almost a sitcom in length, minus commercials. As Professor Ian Malcolm says in Jurassic Park, opening in 3D today, must go faster. And in honor of the good professor, I'm going to tell you a story about me and the actor Jeff Goldblum. It's January 1997, one of the most excruciating public fiascos in Apple history. Macworld, San Francisco. Gil Amelio's last keynote. Who was Gil Amelio? Well, I don't blame you if you can't place the name. History has not been kind to him. But he was the only Apple CEO who saved the company twice. First, when he replaced Michael Spindler as CEO, and second, when he bought a company with an operating system. The company Gil bought was Next Inc., and its CEO just happened to be one of the guys who had founded Apple 20 years earlier, Steve Jobs. And that put Steve into a position to engineer a boardroom coup to oust Gil and take over. And that's how Gil Amelio saved Apple the second time, by bringing back Steve. Flashback. January 1997, Gil is about to give not only the worst speech of his life, but the worst speech in Apple history, maybe in all of business history. And I'm the guy who wrote it. Except Gil didn't give the speech I wrote. He extemporized his own version, endlessly. But there were a few bright spots that day. For one, Muhammad Ali was there. I felt awful he had to sit through the speech. For another, Jeff Goldblum kicked things off that morning. Sanjeev Chahil, who was at that time Apple's chief marketing officer, had done a promotional tie-in with Independence Day where Jeff Goldblum uses an Apple product to save the world. And as part of the deal, Sanjeev persuaded Goldblum to appear on stage and make some opening remarks, and I got the call to write those remarks. Except, turns out when Jeff shows up with his entourage, I learned that one of his people has already written remarks for him. But as a courtesy, they bring me to the green room to meet with him, and probably out of politeness he says to me, well, let's just see what you've written. And he starts going through the 2 scripts side by side, comparing them line by line, and each time he reads one of my bits, he says, well, this is better than this, and this is better than this, and this is better than this. Why don't we just use your script? At the time, Apple was in turmoil with more problems than I have time to mention, more problems than I can remember. I suggested that Goldblum open like this. I'm probably the perfect person to introduce an Apple keynote because in Jurassic Park, I play Professor Ian Malcolm, an expert in chaos theory. Until next time, I'm Nicola. Postscript. Flash forward. It's now summertime, 1997, and Gil is scheduled for the summer Macworld Keynote in Boston. Amazingly, despite the fiasco of January, I get called in to write the speech. I'm thinking, well, maybe this time he'll use it. Turns out he didn't, but for a different reason. One day I went to Apple headquarters to review a draft with Gil, and the receptionist said that my meeting had been canceled. No explanation. Later in the week, I got a call to attend a special Saturday meeting. Steve brought in the team working on Macworld to tell us Gil would not be doing the keynote in Boston, or for that matter, anything else at Apple, that Steve was taking over, and he would do the Macworld keynote. Someday I'll tell you what went on in that meeting. It's probably the most amazing meeting in my life. Postscript. Following year, Apple hired Jeff Goldblum as a commercial spokesman for Steve's first new product following his return, the Bondi Blue iMac. Today's t-shirt, basic black tee from Urban Outfitters. If you like this video, here's some others to watch. Steve Jobs talks about Paul Rand, the man who designed the logo for Next and for IBM, ABC, and UPS. Steve's brilliant finish to Gil's disastrous speech, Steve's first keynote after the coup, and a Jeff Goldblum Apple commercial. Yeah, I know, I'm supposed to use this space to pimp my own videos and tell you to subscribe, ask you to leave comments, please click the like button, all that stuff. But so far you seem to be able to do all that without any prompting from me. Someone else must have trained you very well. So all I'll say is thanks.